Hi, Lobo parents. My name is Mr. Frieda, principal of Los Alisos Intermediate School. I'd like to welcome you to the 2020-21 school year. I am joined by a very wonderful group of educators. Off to, I guess, from your perspective, I think it's the right, Miss Park, our assistant principal, Miss Lena, our guidance counselor, Mr. Call, our school psychologist, and we're very thankful to have Miss Welsh, our community liaison, who is interpreting in Spanish as we speak. Oh, the wonders of the modern technology. As a disclaimer, please know, I may have to slow down occasionally, or we may have to pause so that she can catch up. This is quite a feat for her to be able to do this. So, to jump right in, a couple of announcements before we get started, but I want to explain what the purpose of this meeting is. The purpose of the meeting is to give you some guidance on how you can best support your child through distance learning. I'm going to start off first with some announcements. Textbooks. Please make sure everyone needs to come and get textbooks, because at registration, the textbooks you received weren't complete. We had some on back order. And there's information in my Friday email. And then still to come, pictures. All students will take their pictures. We have them scheduled late September if we return to school. If we don't, we'll have to keep postponing it. If you are on online learning and staying online, you will be able to come in for your pictures. Enrollment, this is very important. Every year we get a projected enrollment, and that's how we base the number of teachers we're going to have on staff. As we get the school year starts, as we get going, by the 8th day of school, which is next week, we set our enrollment. And it looks like we may have more students than we thought, which means a very good thing. We get another teacher, class sizes go down. However, this could mean that we have to change the master schedule, which is where all the teachers go every period, and that will affect the student schedules. So please keep a lookout for, in my Friday emails, for updates on that. Now, reopening of school, we are possibly going to be off the watch list tomorrow. If we do come off the watch list, we have to wait 14 days and remain off the watch list. If we can do that, then the board has to approve any changes to the schedule if we were to go back to hybrid learning. So just keep that in mind. There's no more information I can give you at this time. And finally, learning, please make sure that your children are attending all of their online classes and doing all of their work and are engaged. This year, everything counts. So they need to be present and they need to be involved and engaged. And we need to start holding them accountable and making sure that they're learning. So grades are counting, quizzes and tests and projects, all those assignments are going to count now. Okay? So moving on, we're going to process this meeting through what we call our digital Minder Binder. New this year. It's very exciting. I'm going to actually share my screen so you can see it. And I want to thank our avid teacher, Miss Ashcraft, who created a video, and I'll provide that link in my email. And it's a video that will help the students understand how to navigate through this virtual binder minder. And you can also take a look at it. So let me share my screen. Okay. Is everyone seeing it? Team, are we seeing it? All right, good. Okay. So here's the beautiful, beautiful cover. And it mimics the paper binder minder that we have. And I'm just going to flip through a few things, and then we'll just really quickly. There's an introductory letter from me, and the table of contents. And these are all hyperlinks, so you can actually click on them and go directly to the page. And there's some other links down here too for the agenda. How to communicate with us. There's different ways that you can communicate. And this is the importance of attendance. So you might want to read that through with your child. And then here's the schedule. I'll take a moment looking at this schedule. So we have our Monday schedule, which is set up for online, face-to-face, live instruction, 6 periods a day with a break in the middle before lunch, 6 periods before lunch. And then on Tuesday and Thursday and Wednesday and Friday is when we do like a block schedule where the students are meeting 3 periods a day. Now, as you can see on Tuesday through Friday, there is academic support time. This is important time for teachers to meet with students that need some additional help, and they'll be arranging that with your child. So there might be days where the student doesn't need to be in a class, because that's going to be determined between the student, the child, and also if you want to provide some input to the teacher, you can also do that. Okay, I would like to now, I'm going to introduce a few other people. So let me get out of this. Mr. Call, you want to say a few words? He's going to talk about our special education department.
Yes, hello, Los Alisos. Welcome back to a great year. I know we're going to make it awesome. Just hang in there and keep positive, okay? My name is Brent Call. I'm your school psychologist for Los Alisos. I work with all students at Los Alisos, as well as I have the honor of being responsible for the special education program at Los Alisos. This year through distance learning and the distance learning schedule, all students will be able to get extra academic support Tuesday through Friday between the hours of 12:45 and 2 p.m. This will be scheduled later with you, with your teachers. And this was a great opportunity to get that extra support you need. For special education students, you will also be receiving a case carrier. The case carrier will be reaching out to you as well. And the case carrier's job is to help you with your academics and schooling and provide you with any other additional supports that you may need. They will be setting up times with you coming up in the near future to help you with that support. Just remember, if you guys have any questions or concerns, the students or parents more than welcome to contact me, but always start with the case carrier that will be contacting you shortly, as they'll be your first main go-to point. If you are having any troubles with contacting them or getting where you need, please don't hesitate to contact me, and we will, and I'll be happy to help you. Los Alisos, stay safe. Let us have a great year, and go Lobos, okay?
All right, thank you, Mr. Call. Appreciate that. All right, now we're gonna turn it over to Miss Lena, our guidance counselor, and she's gonna talk a little more about academic supports. So let me get back up there. Okay, Miss Lena.
Hi, I'm Miss Lena, your school counselor, and the academic support, just like Mr. Frida has stated, is from 12:45 to 2, and our team is working on a schedule where your student can check in with their teachers to get additional help. I also want to share the academic resource page on slide 14. Thank you, Mr. Frida. So academic resource, I think, oh, there we are. So our different various departments have made resource pages available for students in the Minder binder. If you could please click into the English portion. So in the English portion, we can see that there's various resources such as the encyclopedia, the Los Alisos Library Catalog, and various other public libraries, as well as various writing resources available in the English department. If you can go back, there's also a great a resource for Avid. I don't know if you can see, Mr. Frida, there's an Avid notebook on the left. A focused notes digital notebook right there, if you could please click in. Thank you. So, we also wanted to provide students with resources of taking notes digitally this year. So the Avid focused notebook provides lined, graphed, and blank pages for students to take notes in one place. So please share with your students on where they can take notes digitally. So this is another resource that the students can use. Thank you. And then next, we'll be moving on to the mental health resource page. I want to be available to all the students and provide access where students can make appointments with me. If the students click on the Let's Talk tab, there's a Google form that students can fill out where I'll be reaching out to them within a day or two, and if they have any social emotional concerns or any academic planning questions, I would be happy to discuss that with them. So please fill out the form to set up a meeting with me. And also on the mental health, there's also the SVOC mental health resource page. If you could please click in. This is a great place for resources for students and families or parents. So if you scroll down a bit, there's tips for students. A little bit more right there. So there's self-care and coping skills activities for students, and also self-care and coping skills for parents, as well as tips for distance learning and COVID on the right. So parents, if you could please peruse through that, there's some great resources for families. And then lastly, there's the relaxation page on the next slide is the relaxation station. So we want to really stress for our students to take care of themselves while they're distance learning. I know that they're having a lot of screen time and a lot of students are stressed, and I want them to take some time to self-care. There's also, if you click on the mindfulness on the bottom right, there's the mindfulness tab. And there's various activities such as breathing meditation, bubble breathing, and just various activities for mindfulness that your student can look into. So please have your students explore this page. And lastly, another fun link is the smartphone apps. In the smartphone apps, there's various free apps where students can learn how to dance, draw, and also do some mindfulness and relaxation activities via Headspace and Calm. So if you could please encourage your students to download these apps, I would be happy to walk through them. Please have your students fill out the counselor referral page or the Google form, and I'd be happy to assist them online. Thank you, and I'll be passing this back to Mr. Frida.
Okay, and now Ms. Park, can you walk us through some more?
Absolutely. So, hi Lobos. I am missing your faces. It's been so great seeing everybody at the textbook pickup and at registration. It got me really excited about the year. And so I know we're really anxious to come back on campus, but we have, as you can see, put a lot of time into setting you guys up to be really successful while at home. And I want you to know that my focus is to make sure you feel safe and secure and comfortable on campus or at home. So what we did was we're going to start off by looking at bullet number 4, Lobo expectations. Our school is platinum level PBIS. We just do put a ton of time. We have a really strong team that talk about what students need to do on campus and at home in order to be successful learners. All of our rules are organized by ready, responsible, and respectful. And this looks like a lot because it's the whole school. It's all in every aspect of learning. It tells students how we expect them to behave in order to be their best self. And it still works at home. So we modify them. We might modify these expectations. They're different than on campus because we're not talking about which hallway to walk in through, but it's how to navigate different sections. So if you go out of the presentation mode, Principal Frida, you can see all the sections. So go back to Lobo expectations and go out of presentation mode. Because we really thought we wanted to use the most of this digital Minder Binder, we expect students to be looking at this not in presentation mode, but they can see the slides and they can edit them. So there I am on the right, talking about needing a magnifying glass because it's a lot. So what I did is I actually zoomed in on every section. So if you see those left links, those are actually, you can click them. So if you could click on communication, I'm gonna go through one example on expectations that we have in detail. So in regards to students communicating, to be ready, they need to know how to directly contact their staff. Their teachers, they should know their emails. They should know the best way for each teacher before there's a problem. They should be asking questions about assignments before they leave the Zoom. Those questions need to be prepared because when you get on Zoom, sometimes you get nervous and you get distracted. So to be prepared with the specific questions you have. And then if you're emailing, following the proper email format. For responsible, reading over your message carefully before sending it, making sure it makes sense and there's no errors. Think about which form is most appropriate. If you have a personal concern that's personally affecting you, you probably want to send a personal message to your teacher rather than putting it out there in a Zoom in front of everybody. So giving those skills on understanding how to do that. Responding to messages timely. If I reach out to a student, it's going to be really important. So I hope they know that. The rule of thumb we use on campus is 24 hours. We want to get back to our students and our staff within a day. So teaching that to students as well would be great. For respectful, using respectful language, knowing that capital letters mean you're yelling. So maybe not using capital letters. And be aware of the tone that you use when speaking, and then and begin with a friendly greeting if it's ever online. Okay, so those are very specific. So that's how every section looks. So it really teaches those skills on how to behave. So Principal Frida, if you can go back out, I'm going to go over all the overarching sections that we have. So we have communication expectations. We have engagement and attendance expectations, real-time virtual meetings, how to behave there, what we expect in regards to work completion, how to do that appropriately, being ready, responsible, and respectful while completing work. Safety and self-care, Ms. Lena went through a lot of it. There's a lot of safety situations when we're using online platforms. So they need to be aware of those, and we gave them some really clear guidance here in this grid. And then also taking care of yourself. Safety is about taking care of yourself, so all those mindfulness resources she gave were really important. And the last one is school involvement. This one's new because we need to really encourage students to get involved when they're home. It's easy to get disconnected, so we really want to push that. I'm wearing my, you can see my Bruin shirt. I love Go UCLA. We push every Wednesday is College Wednesday. We still want kids to feel that. We still want them promoting college awareness, feeling like they're part of the school, sending photos. We're going to have lots of opportunities like that to get them excited. It's not just sitting in front of a screen. It's feeling like you're part of our community. And we're going to try to get really creative. So if you have ideas, let us know, because this is all new for us, but we're really having fun coming up with other ideas. That kind of leads me to talking about our positives. All these little areas are what we expect of students to do. So when we see students excelling in one of these 3 areas of the 3 R's, we give positives. And it used to be a little piece of paper that we gave. This year it's digital. So it's easier to feel less connected with it. So we're going to try really hard to tell students that they're getting a positive, to tell them why they're getting it, and then they can turn in their digital positives. So I'm going to send more information all about that system. Our committee's meeting, and we're going to make sure it's really robust and very clear for the families and students to understand how they can get rewards, recognition, they can feel good about what they're doing, and they can see that we see the amazing work that they're doing. And we acknowledge it, and we commend them. So I want that. That's a huge part of middle school. Okay, so then if you could go to our handbook, Principal Frida. There you go. So this is our Los Alisos student handbook. It used to be a huge document that we gave families. Now it makes more sense for it to be digital. It tells you everything about our school. So if you want to click into it, you can see all parents have access to this. It has Principal Frida's welcome letter. And then this is the table of contents. It has 6, I think it's 6 sections. Yeah, it has 6 sections that it's going to never change. It's in there and it's secure. But what we did, all those 6 sections are how our school runs on a normal basis on campus. But what we did was made a live link at the top about any changes that are happening to our school during distance learning. So you'd like to, if you click that takes you out of the handbook, takes you to a special page that we will be updating. And anytime we make a change, we will let you know. So you don't have to keep checking for changes. We'll let you know if we make a change. So for example, if you go back up to attendance, it says, I'm going to read that to you. Teachers will take attendance daily. It's the same. Just as if they're on campus, students have to come to class. Students are expected to participate in live videos, complete assigned work, and communicate to their teachers. So if they're having any issues, sending an email is really important, saying, I was there, I was trying, but I'm having this issue. And that way the teachers know that you're there and you're attending and you're trying. Every time you do one of those things, it's a positive attendance. So it's important. But for the first 8 days, like Principal Frida was talking about, when we're locking in those enrollment numbers, students need to be at a live meeting every time. If a student is sick at home, most of them can still do some work. So we shouldn't have too many illnesses, but if they really are ill and they can't be completing the necessary distance learning assignments, then it's the same as always. You call in their attendance, you call in their absence, and we get an excused one if they're sick. If it's personal, it's unexcused. You can call our attendance hotline at 949-830-9700, and just make sure that you leave your name, the name of your student, and the reason for the absence. Those are the 3 important things you need to leave. We have new news that we have a brand new email address that's only for attendance concerns, and we'll be putting that in the email as well that you got this link in. So really easy to mark attendance. Just make sure you do it so so that our attendance is accurate and we know who's not getting the learning that we're thinking they're getting at home. If you scroll through, we also changed Lobo Life. There's certain things that are just different when you're home. We obviously aren't having assemblies in a group, but we're doing videos and trying to do stuff like that. The bell schedule's been changed. Clubs, we really want clubs. We're looking into that to see how we can do that distance. Dances, we're expecting a dance in the spring. Once we come back, we're hoping for it, but it certainly will be postponed for now, and we'll see what we can do. I do want to make a special announcement about lunch programs. We have at Gates Elementary, if a student's on free or reduced lunch, they are giving out lunches at Gates Elementary for Los Alisos students. That is an amazing opportunity, and they give it, it's all on our website, all the details. We really want to make sure that students are getting the food that they need, and you guys are feeling one more thing off your stress level. You can also buy lunch there too. So you can go and they don't bring cash, you have to pay and leave a deposit through the website. So just read this carefully so you know how to do it, but taking lunch, worrying about lunch, taking that off your list of to-dos will help a lot. So you just scroll through here, and there's a bunch of other little sections, but I just want you to know that this is here, and this is for you as a really important resource on understanding how our school is run. I put the expectations there again, much more, it's bigger and clearer, and you know, there's a section for everything that's been modified that's typically on campus. Okay. Okay, and then the last thing on the section, it says must complete. We've always had a compact that parents sign, teachers sign, and students sign. You're signing it saying you understand what a successful Lobo does on campus. And you go through every section and you're making a pledge. I pledge to do these items because you know how important they are. Now that we can't give it in paper form, you're going to be pledging after you go through this handbook with your child. The handbook has a section on our school rules. Kids can still get suspended during distance learning. Students are still expected to behave appropriately. They still have to complete work. So they need to know that, and we're hoping that each of you can help us by going through the handbook with them and then completing this pledge along with them sitting right there next to you. So the way you do the pledge is you click this Google form on the bottom, and it's a very quick student last name, student first name, grade, 6-digit ID, the date, and then this is going to be their digital signature where they sign and then you sign. I'm going to be talking to students about this. I'm going to be doing expectation assemblies next week. And what that means is I'm going to be having a Zoom session with every single student on campus through the PE class. I'm going to talk to them about the rules. I'm going to talk about how our schools run. I want them to know me. I want them to feel connected with me. And I want them to know that they can come to me with anything, but they need to also be very clearly, they need to clearly understand the expectations we have for them. So I'm going to talk to them about this and tell them it's their homework is to get this done with you. Okay. So pleasure talking to you. Please know you can always reach out to me, and I'm going to send this back to Principal Frida to finish us off.
All right, stop sharing, and we're back. All right, thank you so much, everyone. So parents, just one last announcement. This really hopefully will help prepare you for the year. We wanted to get out to you as soon as possible. And the next big event will be our back to school night, which is scheduled for September 3rd. That is a Thursday. We will be on a minimum day schedule. So as odd as that sounds, we'll be putting out the schedule. It'll be a little different. The way I think our back to school night is going to look, tentatively, this is what we're planning, is that we'll have a Zoom meeting with me just for about 5 minutes, a quick hello and a welcome. And then we'll have open Zooms for all of the teachers, and we'll provide you with the links, and then you'll click on those links and you can enter the classroom at the designated time following the bell schedule. So if your child has, say, science period 3, and period 3 starts at 7:55 p.m. at night on the 3rd, you would click in to that teacher's Zoom link, and then for about 10 minutes, the teacher will talk and explain what's going on in their classroom. Then you'll click out, and then you go to the next link for the period 4, and so on. And then at the very end, Miss Lena, Miss Park, and Mr. Call will have open Zoom meetings so that you could talk to them about any questions you may have, or hear a presentation from them about what they do. That's it. If you have any questions, please let us know. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and here's to a very, very wonderful 2020-21 school year. Go Lobos.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.